Ladies and gentlemen, we're always moving quickly around here to get things done, but we decided we had to talk another half hour. I do that for special people who seem to really know what they're talking about. That's you guys.
We fooled you.
Not true. Trent has a good sense of humor because he understands what life is about, I think. It's fair for me to say that?
Yeah.
I'm putting you on the spot. That's a little pressure for somebody to say that about you, isn't it?
That was, yeah. I don't got much to say. So.
But
we didn't rehearse that.
We did not rehearse it. Not much we rehearsed. We kind of give you a list of things we're going to talk about. But our slider is going up there. Cody's helping us. That's a super fast speed. We'll slow it down a little bit and get an even more dramatic effect. Thank you, Cody. So with regard to where we're at now, Emma, you helped run this whole thing, right? You live on the location in the house that's there. I saw that house. I think it's in one of the videos we got, and you really know what you're doing there. That's cool. And then this venue is amazing. So we're going to get into that a little bit more here to dig in with what we've got. So I've got questions we wrote down here. Emma is, help me out, Emma. This says Emma right there. What is one mistake consumers make? We talked about that a little bit previous show, but I want to hear your perspective as we're jumping in here about halfway through our questions, but it's relative to where we're at in the
Yeah, so one mistake that consumers might make when looking at different event centers for weddings or events or whatever you guys are planning is not taking the time to come out and physically see the location. Now you touched on us, my fiance and I are actually residents on the property, so we are available 24/7 for people who would want to come out and see the property to make it more available for them on their schedules.
Okay, yeah, and I would say there's nothing like live and in person, especially when you're going to do a big event for a very important piece of somebody's life, right? They can watch a lot of this. We want you to use this video and some of the stuff. You get a sample of it here. It's still better to meet you face to face if
Definitely.
possible. But take a look at this video. We're going to try to highlight a lot of it here. Hopefully you put this on your website, your social media, and then when you, after seeing all that, you say, let's go meet with Emma directly, face to face, and make sure that we got understood what we're doing here. Because this is how many times do people do these events? Hopefully once in their life. We know.
Hopefully just once, yeah.
And sometimes it's a big banquet and you do those annually or something.
Yeah,
like
if it's
that.
a corporate event, we want them back,
but
definitely.
you do a lot of that. We were there for that event. The M&H Christmas party. That was awesome.
Yeah,
all right, I was there. So tell me the time when you feel like, well, there was a time you obviously have been doing this for a little bit already, and maybe some of your past history, because we just want people to learn from what it is that your experiences that they made, when you feel like you really helped a client or a guest, and they were in the middle of a situation, and you had to go, don't worry, we got you. Who wants to tell me that? Trent?
Well, we are very new, so we've only had the one wedding, which was mine. So
yeah, another event, the Christmas party. That was
and the Christmas party
right?
too. Yeah. So I would say one thing that we strive to do is hopefully every single event is going to be very unique, depending on what they're wanting to do. So I think that we are going to try to cater as much as we can to what they want. For example, we rode a motorcycle in for our introduction. If someone wants to maybe drive their car in or do something kind of silly and fun for everybody. We are out in the country, so there's not a lot of restrictions. We have the flexibility to do that. So as far as helping people out, we don't want to oversell ourselves and do every possible thing they want, but we will definitely try to do anything and make it very special for them. Instead of just, hey, here's what we provide and no add-ons. We don't want to be like that. We kind of want to customize it for their own event and just make it a special day for them.
And I understand that because, I mean, doing the video production world, I mean, there's always something else you could do to make that different, better, more improved, whatever. But you got to make people happy, ultimately, because you want this business to be a success because you're doing good things and giving an incredible value. That's what's the most, the price is the most important. And I'm not going to get into pricing and all that stuff. It's there. You can get a quote from them for whatever, but it's always, what's the value? Is it really an incredible value? That's so important.
Yep.
I don't even know where your pricing lays. We didn't talk about that, but man, you guys, I can't imagine anybody that goes to visit you guys is not going to go, that was the best value I've ever had in my life with everything you've put all in one. We talked about that in the first show. Go watch that first show if you missed it. Rick was sitting here. He's the guy who started all this, and he's having Trent and Emma run it, and Trent is his son. So this thing now is going to make an impact in our little world, and it's awesome. And so with that, I mean, how we get into stuff like how has the technology changed the way you do things? And again, relatively new. So now you got some of the latest state-of-the-art stuff. I noticed, for instance, when you check in, I don't have to do a key thing. I don't have to know whatever. How did I get in my room? I had a code texted to me. That code is good for me for 24 hours or whatever my checkout time is, right? And I just put the code in. I didn't have to worry about who put the little. I mean, most of your hotels now have those little plastic credit card looking things they give you, but you lose those and you got to go up to the front desk. I bet if they needed a code from you because they lost it, they could text you. You could text them back. Here's your code, right?
Yeah.
All this stuff is available. I do Airbnb stuff with my girlfriend, and I understand how that works. But that's a major convenience for one little thing. What else, technology-wise, would you say has helped you guys? Emma, I'm going to go to you first on this one because I know you've run into some of that. Tell me.
Sure. So one of the big advances that we've had with technology is just social media in itself. Luckily, we've been fortunate enough to have some really good pictures taken from our first couple events, so those have been a big help. And we've had a couple people reach out to us even since then, so that's been the pictures for sure, and getting that out there so people can really see what we're doing, especially since we have a couple different structures on property with the event center, with the rec center, with the lodging, and then the honeymoon suite as well. So everyone loves to see everything we've got going on over there.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't do social media?
Right.
Trust me, I've had a few guests on our show, and I'm like, you got some great looking work on your personal page. You need to have a business page. Why? Well, that's how Facebook makes their money, but it's also you can't do ads, promotions. Facebook has really taken off. Tons of other things you can do with that. And then just get yourself a great looking video. It's most important. I can talk about that for hours. But now you guys have, I'm looking at your guys' website and everything you got there. Let's go jump in a little bit. I'm going to jump into some of the pictures you have on the website. Didn't spend a lot of time studying those, but I can't imagine they don't look great already. So let me show all that off a little bit. And there is the website again. We were here in the last show going over different things, but I want to show this gallery, which we have up right here. And so talk to me. This is the venues. There it is. This is the this is a picture on the far left there of.
That's before the very first wedding. That's when it was all set up. Doesn't show the whole venue. You got the stage and in the back, but it shows a pretty good portion of it. You got the bar in the background as well.
And then somebody, you might know the people that are in this wedding. There they are. But you've got.
I do know those people. Yeah.
Go across the
good people.
Right. And then some fun pics and an outdoor seating area. And I saw this. And you got all of nature there and just fun and being your photographer. Do you provide the photographer too, or do you recommend?
No, so we do have recommendations on photographer, videographer, DJs. We actually, the party you were at obviously had a band, and I was curious in how that would sound, but the band actually, they sounded very well in there. So we have recommendations for all of our vendors, but we provide everything else as far as setting it up and cleaning it up.
Yeah, I'll say something about the band. First off, it's one of my favorite bands in the history of the world. Sean Howard is awesome. Foreplay is an incredible group of guys, and they do great work. And then I was like, how many times did we go to a venue that was very nice, looked really good, and the audio is terrible? You guys spent a lot of money on your audio. I don't know what you spent, but it sounded great. And I hear that a lot. And I was at an event, I won't see where recently, and the mic got up there and goes, and they were doing their best, and it was a different thing. It was a charity-related thing, so I get it. But when you got a wedding, you don't want that to. I mean, come on, you just ruined my whole wedding because they couldn't hear the speech from the best man or the whatever. So you guys did a great job there. But the audio sounded great, and so one of our friends up here even got to sing a little bit. Hotel California.
Yep.
Did you know your dad could sing that well?
Well, good thing he was drowned out by the actual singer.
That was good. That was fun, though. That's good stuff.
No, but I'm glad you mentioned that. Because I guess some venues don't have sound systems. They rely on the DJ's sound, which sounds great most of the time. But if they needed a backup or something, we have a great stereo system throughout the venue. And if it was just an event, you don't have to hire a DJ. You can play off our speakers.
Bring your iPad. Bring your cell phone, smartphone, and
That's
just
right.
get your whatever Spotify or Apple Play or whatever, and start playing music. Cool. All right, so much that went on there, and I didn't even get to see it. I'm asking about it because I was there, everybody. It was awesome. All right, so a lot of technology has a lot of impact. I think we covered a lot there, but is anything else technology-wise you think that really impacts the way you put on that event, and what you do there that makes it exceptional?
I mean, you did mention the door locks. That's just convenient for people when they are staying. They don't have to find a key or anything. They have a code, just text it to them. That's very easy. And I mean, the other biggest thing is we have a very cool CRM tool. It's very easy to schedule things on our website. If you want to schedule a tour, just click on bookings, put in your name, and it pops up a calendar and when we're available. And you never have to talk to us. You can just schedule it, or you can reach out to us. So that makes it super easy as well.
Yeah, that's the world we're in now.
People
if you never
yeah.
want to talk to us, you don't have to.
People don't like it anymore. So you can just click on bookings, put your name in, and schedule when you'd like to have it, and we'll get the notification. So that makes it easy for people as well.
All the way up till here's your codes to get in the room and check in, and you don't have to talk to us still.
That's right.
Awesome. Another side note there, as I'm fast forwarding into my head, sometimes I forget what I thought I had 2 seconds ago. But from a technology standpoint, what was it? I forgot. We'll come back to it. But Central Park of Veolia, I took a ton of pictures. That was my fun thing. I do that everywhere, and sometimes we use them. Sometimes they end up in my cloud storage and never look at them again. But I put together this little quick Central Park of event highlights, because this is just the highlights out of there. As you were talking there, I guess I was like, what was one of the coolest things? This is why we got to go to this. One of the coolest things, I got a brief summary of, take a look into the band. They got a place, it's just generally a place for the groom and their party, but for this event, it was where the band got to go. Was that what that was? Or do you have a band place and a place for the guys? Or
So yeah, we do. So that is for the girls getting ready room. So there are 9 stations for them to get ready. 2 are strictly hair stations, so they're the hairdressing chairs. It looks very good with the sconces. The lights aren't on. I wish they were, but yeah, it's a very nice place for them to get ready. It's got a ton of mirrors and it's got great lighting once those lights are on. And yeah, and then there's also a getting ready room for the guys. We have TVs and a PS5 and shuffleboard table because you have to keep the guys entertained. They'll kind of go a little crazy. So yeah, you have one for each.
Much more going on. The reason I didn't do a video of the guys' place is because the band had their stuff in there, and I just didn't want anybody's personal things on the video. Here was nobody's stuff. It was just that was cool. But they had that middle. What do you call that? That round bench in the middle. I'm going to put that up real quick, just on the screen again. What is this middle? I'm going to pause it if I can here. Hold on, right? Let it go back one more time. What is that thing?
It is just a
blurry.
couch. I forget the technical name for that type of couch, but it's just an all-round leather couch.
That's just really cool. I was like, that is neat. And they made a special exception. Get that thing there for you for your guys' wedding, right? That's cool.
Yes.
Very cool. And you got it in time, so that's cool. I'm going to give you a little bit more here, some pictures. This is, tell me the 50th anniversary. I'm going to go back. Oh, I'm going in here. I'm going into the entry, and I'm going to put this up now for everybody to see it. And I'll walk through. And I'm walking in the door. I know that young lady. And there's your bike. And somebody else can put their own.
Whatever they like, yeah.
And look at this venue. Look at this place. You telling me that doesn't look like a resort somewhere? But that's very, very cool. There's my new friend Leon there, right? And so yeah, you can hear me talking. They can't hear that, but that's just a little bit of it. And so we put this little montage together, and there's so much more. Something else, and I may have done this strategically, but I also did it to contribute. I said, if you want one of my little, a lot of bars and restaurants do put up this little poster because it's motivational. Dreaming and chase your dreams. Throw that up there because it probably takes away from the effect of what you got going on, right? But look at that CP. That was laser designed, right? Central Park. That's a great looking bar. And the whole place is made out of that kind of marble looking, great looking countertop everywhere around the place. And the bathrooms, I know, was everywhere. I mean, you did it right across the whole place. Is that fair to say?
I think it is. We have a lot to do. Like we had previously mentioned, we were finishing the venue on the day that of our first wedding. So there's a lot to do, but it did come along very nicely. Yeah.
Well, good stuff. And then even more fun, I'm going to share this one. It's got a number on there. Can I share that? Click on it. It says a 5 with some other additional. Is that all right? All right. So this one on the screen, but this is somebody won a little prize. And when, here you go, helping make the world a better place. And that's your dad. That's Rick's dad. So that's your grandfather, I guess, up there on the top right. I'll put that up for everybody to see. But how important was it what he kind of helped you guys to develop and to his influence on this whole thing?
Well, that meant everything. I mean, that's why we're all here. He started the original family business and worked very, very hard to make it into what it is today. He brought a lot of our family members in, so they have been a huge part of making it to now being able to build an event center and go much further. and help our community out in different ways. So it's very important, and like I said, he was a huge part to where we are today.
Well, and again, keep it within the family and those that get to contribute. We've got family things on my dad's side. He's in heaven now, and the mom. That's just the whole planet's a little better if we keep those ties going on. It's good to see them involved here with what you're doing. All right, well, we talked about, I guess if you were to say if there was a challenge, and I get a little different answer. I jumped around. I asked this question in the first show, but I didn't even intend to because it's on my list. We're in a second show now, but people may watch that one. But if you missed it, and it's going to be a different answer now because I got Emma here, and we'll talk about what has it been like getting this thing going. What's been something you've had to work on to make this thing all go, Emma? Anything you feel comfortable sharing with everybody? Say, it's been great. I learned from it.
Honestly, it really has been great. Like Trent and Rick, I am new to the wedding industry, so it's been really cool to kind of have the opportunity to overcome a few small obstacles. But for the most part, like Rick said, it's most important to stay positive, and when an issue does arise, to find the solution and just keep moving forward.
I'm going to throw that one over to you, sir, Trent. Tell me, you know all about it. You've probably been involved from the beginning with this. Tell me, you're like, we didn't realize that. But how often is it the case? Let me throw this in. Well, you're like, I had a guest on it. He sells used cars. And I said, but after getting to know him, like, he's the guy that really does take care of his clients. But he said, I have the idea, I go after it, and I figure out the details as I go, right?
That's exactly the
That's
story
the best way
of
to get things done.
Yeah, that's how it happened here. So we started in February. I think the biggest challenge was we kind of handcuffed ourselves into has to be done by November 23rd, which was my wedding, and it probably would have been okay if we just did the venue, but we decided to do the venue, the outdoor ceremony site, the honeymoon, the hotels, and the rec center. So we did much more, and coming into it, we didn't think it'd be as big of a project, but we learned it was a pretty big deal. So I think that was the biggest challenge, was just getting it done on time. And my wife put a lot of trust in me that we could get this done, and I was very confident. And in the beginning, I wavered a little bit in the getting close to it because we got down to crunch time. But and another challenge is we just didn't know how to do it, or hardly any of it. So a lot of research, and we had a lot of good people around us to help us get to where we are. So we're super fortunate that our family was involved, and so many people that work for us. Just they're the way we are. They don't know what, sometimes know what they're doing, and they'll figure it out. They'll stumble through it.
I'll make another little emphasis point if I can. Life is a little bit about, we've all made mistakes. We've all done stupid things and whatever, usually in our youth, right? And I still learn from those, obviously. I was fortunate to have two parents that were very strict, so I didn't get away with much. A couple times, I don't know what happened. But anyway, here we are, and you end up, but most of life is about the relationships you develop and you build. Rick and I were talking in between. We call it the green room. We're right here on set, but we're talking about it. Man, life is so much better if you just go out and help people, do good things for people, and it comes back. Not because you want it to come back, and you're like, I'm going to do this because something's coming back to me. That's not how it works. As a matter of fact, that might cancel what you did if you did something nice. But when you do nice things for people, it comes back. I think there's a book that talks about that. It's like, whatever you reap, you will get, or whatever you offer, you'll reap 10 times what it is.
For sure.
Because that's the way it works. And so many people miss that. It's like, holy cow, you just took advantage for you stole a candy bar or whatever it is. Yeah. And now it's going to come back on you. You should never do that because it comes back worse. And if you would have done what was right to help somebody, boy, would you have really benefited then, because something comes back to you. Do you feel like that's kind of where your business has gone with your dad and your grandfather, Emma, and everybody involved? And you do these things right, and that's what I'm saying is you did this whole event. You're trying to pack it in to get it done, but you just knew you were going to come through because that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
Somebody gave me a test before they hired me. This was like years ago, and they said, we got to do this little test, and then they called me back, and again, I'm just, my little personal thing is kind of weird, but whatever. And they said, we want to hire you right now. I go, what did the test say? He goes, because essentially you will run through a brick wall to get things done. I'm like, okay. I would first, hopefully wisely, ask them to take the brick wall down before I ran through it.
Yeah.
Right? But those are the kinds of things you have to go through in life. And so you made it happen. And how much fun was that? And now you got something done. Yeah. It's ready to go. It's available, and you accomplished something.
No, it was awesome. We keep saying it, but we can't say it enough. It was the people around us that made it happen. If it was just me, we would have got nothing done. So I'm very fortunate that we were surrounded by a lot of good people. My dad and my aunt, who own the concrete company, they invest back into their employees, and the employees, like I said, pay off tenfold in what we pay them, because it's just super beneficial. And our family's been huge. When it came to crunch time, everyone was there on the weekends trying to get stuff, not only for getting the wedding venue ready, but it was for my personal wedding, so it did mean a lot to me. Yeah, we're just surrounded by a ton of good people.
I'm going to put up on the wall here, well said, sir, that you can see we built the wall. There it is, and I'll switch over here. But here's another added amenity, and this is just getting started. This picture doesn't do much justice, but that is what'd you call it?
The rec center,
yeah. Rec center, right. You have a rec center on location, and I know there's, what's the game again? We talked about it. It's where you slide the
Yeah, so we have a shuffleboard in there. We're going to put like a golden tee and some different games, some more tables. We have 2 TVs in there, but it's a great place when the wedding does shut down at 11. You can go 1,000 feet across the property and then continue to party with your friends and family, sleep on the property. You can wake up and then have breakfast and kind of reminisce on everything that happened the day before. So it's not just one event. I know weddings are expensive regardless of who you go through, but it's so much better, in my opinion, to create a weekend or such a big event. It's more long-lasting for your memory. So. And
if I will, Emma, tell me, is this true that ultimately, I mean, how often have we been to an event? I've been to many weddings. Some people I've been uninvited. That was funny. I don't care, but whatever. I said, it was a funny story. It was funny. I'm like, okay, they'll like me because I could tell you guys aren't the perfect match. And I might have said something. And they said, well, he's not coming to the wedding. I'm like, okay, good. And they got divorced. Anyway, I said, bottom line, and it doesn't have, whatever. But bottom line is, when you have these events that people have, that they go on, it's like 11 o'clock, everybody out. And everybody goes somewhere else, not together, and they're driving many times to those places, and they've been consuming alcohol. I'm a big advocate for not doing that, given I was hit by a drunk driver in a coma, lucky to survive, all the stuff we talk about. Watch my other show, go to cardinalcowboy.com. But now you really get to keep everybody together to continue the celebration. It's their own private thing. You've got a liquor license, et cetera, that does turn off at whatever time it's over, but on their own, just like somebody wanted to. And maybe I shouldn't even bring up the whole details because I don't know what we're allowed. If one of my lawyers calls me and says, Carter, you shouldn't have said that, call me and I'll edit this. But they can, on their own, then bring their own beverages, whatever they went to the rec center, because it's a thing that they've rented for you. It's open. But also get to gather and stick together and have that fun, enjoying their family. Even furthermore, we were just hanging out here until about 4 in the morning. Yeah,
we try to make it very neat so people will hang out and create way more memories. We got a couple fire pits out back. It's a whole courtyard type area. By hopefully the summertime, we'll have our 6 to 8 acre lake complete, and that's going to come right up to the hotels. So that'll overlook the hotels and stuff will overlook the lake. So it should be pretty cool.
Yes, and also, Emma, how cool is the way that this thing has been thought out, set up, planned, and put together?
For 9 months, they've done a great job.
9 months, they did an amazing. I'm like almost like you did this in 9 months. Really, I don't know what you did, but you did it. So I'll take your word. I believe you. But Rick is very good at that kind of stuff. He's been doing this kind of stuff for decades, I guess. And now you're involved, and Emma and Cody, my production assistant over there, helping with our slider that was acting up. But how cool is it to be able to have this part of what you guys are really going to have to bring families together for an event they will remember for hopefully generations, really.
It's surreal. I mean, we were talking about it the night of the holiday party, because it's crazy that this is kind of our job now. It's so much fun. That's a lot of work, but it's something that we thoroughly enjoy, and we get to help people, celebrate with them, help our community. So it's a win all around.
Well, again, we get into the. I'm looking at my questions, like we covered most of them with what we got here, but I got a couple more important ones. We're 24 minutes 28 seconds into the recording here. Now we're 31 seconds, right? So how do you guys feel like you best contribute to the community? Kind of covered that, but give me a summary of that, if you will, because this is big for families. They need to have these kinds of events. It
definitely is. I mean, so we sponsor as many events we can. We're getting involved more into that space. We're just so new, so that's kind of something new to us. It seems like everyone from Eolia is very happy that it's coming in, because it's going to bring more people to the town, hopefully, and more revenue and just different things like that. And hopefully it's just another great event space for St. Charles County, Lincoln County, Pike County, all those people to have a special event for their day, because there are a lot of great venues, but like we had touched on the previous segment, we try to separate ourselves and do so much more than that. So we'll just continue to, like I said, build, and hopefully it's good for the community.
Well said, Emma. I want your opinion on all that.
Eolia is a great town, and we are excited to get more involved with them. I believe we're hosting their prom.
Yep, we're also hosting their prom in May.
Yeah, so that's going to be a good opportunity to kind of get more involved with them. And we touched a little bit on the businesses in Eolia. There's a great little coffee shop out there, a good sports bar that's available to visit before or after any events too. But it's been really good getting to know some of the people who run it, like the small business owners. And it's been very cool so far.
Cool. And you got such a light voice, I was looking at the mics. Speak up a little bit louder for me, because I've got maxed out my volume there, but that's okay. But literally, impactful, going to make a difference. We love what you guys are doing, and it's going to be something great for generations to come. Is that what the hope is here?
We hope so, absolutely.
All right. As we finish up, and this is something I always talk about, but when somebody's calling you, there's a few ways you can say this, but what's the biggest question people might have? Somebody says, "Oh, I need to know about this." It's like they call it an objection, right? But what is one thing that they don't quite understand, or whatever it is that you said, "We got that. Here's how we help you with that." What is one of the biggest questions people have for you when they're considering booking with you, or even talk about business in the past, or whatever it is you've helped people to overcome?
I think the biggest thing is price. They want to price check you regardless of coming to the venue, and it's hard to describe over phone everything that we do have going on out there, because we're not just an event center. If you come, we have a lot going on, and we will cater to you as well. I don't want to say, because I don't know if some venues are stricter than others, but we will cater to whatever they want for the most part. We are out way in the country, so we're not restricted on codes or have to shut down a certain time. So, but the biggest one is just price, and we try to fumble through that with just getting them out to the property and then describing, hey, here's what we got going on. It's not just a one-day kind of thing. So
this isn't like you're buying one set of toilet paper from one place and another set of toilet paper from the other place. You got like 4,500 different features and options and variables.
And we provide a lot as well. We provide the chairs, the tables, linens, decor, tablecloths. We'll set it up for you. We'll clean it all up. So we do, and I mentioned this before, but we try to just make it to where they can show up and get married, and it's no stress.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh my gosh, I got carried away. The whole thing was community-based. Cardinal Cowboy here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We finished another half hour very quickly. Get a hold of these guys. Central Park of Eolia, EOLIA.com, 636-485-7372. And check out their venue and enjoy your life. Set it up for success, right? Thanks, everybody. Giddy up.